kuniua bure baba, wataka kuniua bure baba, wako hayuko, wangu hayuko, chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe, chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe. Lilo, mama. Hasira za nini we bwana, hasira za nini we bwana, wataka kuniua bure baba, wataka kuniua bure baba. Wewe una wako nyumbani na mimi nina wangu nyumbani, chuki ya nini kati yangu mimi na wewe, chuki ya nini kati yangu.
Your top, most provoking and stimulating talk show 50-50 is coming on next. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good people, good morning, and a pleasant welcome to another fascinating edition of the program. 50 on Sky 107.1. Today is the 18th day of July 2024. My name is Matthias Labindi. 50 is here every weekday morning from Monday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30. Today, we are asking a very critical question, and we have somebody here to give us answer to that. And the question is visa waiver possible for all Liberians? Is visa waiver to the United States possible for all Liberians? So maybe you want to ask about Matthias, why are they waiving visa for? Yes, visa waiver, according to someone who has done extensive research, he's been on this thing for many years. He believes that every Liberian citizen should have access to the United States without visa. So you don't have to pay for anything to go to the United States, because by virtue of your birth as a Liberian citizen, you are a citizen in extension of the United States of America. I'm probably not choosing my words properly, but Pastor Torli, who has been behind this, is here. He's the founder of the Universal Human Rights International. He's here with us this morning to share his thoughts on the possibility of visa being waived for all Liberians to travel to the United States. Would you want to go to the United States? Oh, you need not play DV, right? I know at this moment, a lot of you, your ears are itching. You don't even want to wait for DV result anymore. Go check your result. Wait until this can work. Someone is saying right now, Matthias, that question you are asking, is it possible? If it is possible, I remember one young man, my brother from the slum of productivity, I call it, Doe community, Matthew Doe Tipperson. When he traveled to the US, he came back, I hosted him on Capital FM. He said, listen, we need to build a bridge from Africa to the United States. It was an interesting conversation. But Matthew is back in town now. But here is Pastor Torli saying to us, America owes us a lot. He says, America owes us. You cannot be a friend of the richest man in the world, of the most powerful person in the world, and you live in the trenches. Would that friend be brave to invite his billionaire friends to visit you in the trenches? I am so much interested in this conversation because trust me, I would want to wake up one morning, pick up my 2 daughters, my fiance, maybe some other family members. We board our plane straight to the United States, Philadelphia specifically, and we just stay there. My name is Matthias. We'll be right back after this break.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem? Or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 0777 553317, 0886 553317, or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Hey, Tanu, what happened to you so?
Julie, I worry. I need to pay my daughter's school fee first thing tomorrow morning. And today is Sunday. I finish and get worsen.
But there's no problem there at all. It's possible you can still pay it tomorrow.
Lord, I tell you, I'm not level. I'm not joking. If you can't help me, tell me alone.
Yeah, I can help you. Let me ask you, have you heard about EcoBank Money Emergency Number?
You say what? Just leave me alone. I'm telling you, I need to pay my money tomorrow morning first thing. And then be open way 9 o'clock. They can't help me.
But you're not even going to the bank, Tanu. All you have to do is to dial *326# and request for 50% of your salary. You will pay EcoBank back within 30 days, and the interest are only 3%. The money will be sent to your account in a minute, and you can use your ATM card to withdraw it from any EcoBank ATM.
Dalame, you mean I'll get it the same day?
Oh yes, instantly. I mean in a minute. But to you, EcoBank that baby.
I said so.
Oh, I beg you, yeah. EcoBank can make things happen sharp. For any money emergency, just dial *326# to help yourself out.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
And that's right. Welcome back to the program 50/50 on Sky 107.1. We are asking this morning, is visa waiver to the United States possible for all Liberians? To answer that question, we've invited in the studio a longtime champion of this visa waiver advocacy for Liberians, all Liberians, to travel to the United States. In fact, he believes, per his research, that once you are a Liberian, automatically you are a citizen of the United States of America. According to a certain constitution, whether it has been amended or not, I do not know. But Pastor Krua, who's the founder of the Universal Human Rights International, is here with us this morning. This man seems to come from a family that God has granted grace. You know, everything you pray for in this life, pray for 2 things: mercy and grace. When you have mercy, there are doors that may open for you, you may not understand. Do you know that Pastor Torli, who's seated with me right now, his father is 100 years old right now, and he's come also back to Liberia to celebrate his father's 100th birth anniversary. But let's go to the loom paper we have in the studio this morning to do a review quickly, and that's the front page African newspaper. Today's edition is July. It's volume 17, number 136. 40 Liberian dollars is sold for. Top stories: a calculated attempt. CDC Secretary General Koji alleges army deployment at airport was intended to harm ex-President Weah. Assumption over solid evidence. Assumption over solid evidence. In Shala Musu's murder case, prosecution amidst sentence was based on circumstantial evidence. Intensifying free visa advocacy. Activist calls on Liberian legislature to extend session for updates on visa waiver campaign. Grand Jide lawmaker grades Boaka Kon government over Weah Taylor's on-road connectivity, vows to support Yellow Machines deal. We were victims under CDC-led government. I am a CDC senator, but for me, I believe in the Bible. Even though I may not be a pastor or bishop, the Bible says, thou shalt not lie or bear false witness. 6 years I suffered in the mud, and my people experienced bad road condition. When you ask me to grade the past and present governments when it comes to road conditions for the people of Grand Jide County, you cannot compare me or compare them. If someone does good for my people, I am under obligation to say the fact or reality. Senator Zoe Emmanuel Peno, Grand Jide County. He said Grand Jideans were marginalized by the Weah's administration. But he's also a son of Grand Jide now, according to the story. Presidential Secretary Kula Fofana amidst Boaka Kon administration attempted blocking Kemaya's appointment at ECOWAS. A political witch hunt? Kula, when did you say this? Here is an excerpt of what Kula reportedly said. The government has some concerns with the nomination, and that was communicated to. The team has just received, through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, their ECOWAS response, and since that response has been given, the Minister of Foreign Affairs will brief the President and they will take action. Mrs. Kula B. Fofana, Presidential Press Secretary. Let's move on to the back page of the front page Africa newspaper. Liberian duo CA and Kone complete Galaxy move. Complete TS Galaxy move. What is TS Galaxy move? Grab a copy of the front page Africa newspaper and know exactly what's in it. I read this editorial yesterday. Maybe my friend and a workaholic brother, Leonard Dodo, needs to share with me his editorial for today so I can read it before the end of the show. But this editorial is a repeated one. Editorial of the front page Africa newspaper. There is no such thing as a free lunch, Mr. President. There is no such thing as a free lunch, Mr. President. And that's it for the look at the front page Africa newspaper. Let me go to this story that we are going to be looking at here. Of course, there are a couple of other documents that Pastor Torli Krua has shared with me. In fact, I've been part of this advocacy for years now. Everywhere I worked, he will always send me documents concerning this visa waiver advocacy. And ladies and gentlemen, those of you following us via the radio, if you are just maybe trying to disembark from your vehicle and you still want to monitor us, or maybe you sit in your office here, you can follow us live on Sky Communications Liberia Facebook page, or better say, join us on Sky FM and TV Liberia Channel 6 on YouTube, and Sky, that is the Liberia Public Radio on Facebook as well. If you're looking at the screen, you will see a flag. All right. At the moment, you are only seeing red and the white, but the blue is on the other side. I'm very sure when Julius shall have turned the camera that way, where Pastor Torli Krua is sitting, you're going to see the blue. Pastor Torli Krua is also a demonstrative advocate. He like to show what he's talking about. So he's brought the flag of Liberia and spread it on my table on the desk where the mics are seated. All right. So this is the conversation. Let's get into it. Pastor Krua, it's a pleasure joining us this morning. Welcome to Sky Communications Liberia.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure. It's always a pleasure coming here to Sky. I love the Sky. And if you look at the logo of the Free Liberia Movement, Visa Waiver for All Liberians, it's a butterfly.
Right.
And beneath is a caterpillar. Liberia is a caterpillar that's been crawling around for 2 centuries. Now it's time for us to take off and fly. That's the logo.
But before we get into that, let me say congratulations to you and your family, all of you, your siblings. Marking the celebration of your father. Yes. 100 years. I mean, that must be grace. I mean, is he still strong? Does he still move around? Does he walk by himself?
He works with difficulty. He has to use a walker to get around.
Okay.
But it's a blessing. And my father came from a family of healers. The name Krua means a conqueror or a hero.
Is that a crew name?
No, it's a Dan name. Dan from Nimakande. It's called Gio, which is a derogatory term.
Okay.
But he was born in Grand Bassa County and settled in Nimakande. He does not have formal education, but he founded the first school in the town called Zia, and that school was founded on the basis of self-sufficiency.
Right.
Thank you.
Right.
He founded the first school in Zia. It's a co-educational boys' dormitory, girls' dormitory, and he became the principal of the school without formal education. He believes in giving people opportunities. And even right now, at 100 years of age, he's constructing an extension of 13 additional classrooms and with auditorium and a laboratory and everything else. And he said after that project is over, he's going to retire.
How do you people intend to celebrate his 100th birth anniversary?
Oh, we already did celebrate. We paraded through the streets of Tapeta, where he currently resides. He came back from the United States 2 years ago and relocated back in Liberia because he said the war is over. We have to start development of Liberia.
Okay.
And so he came back here. And at 100 years, he's not talking about what he can do, but how he can empower people to use their God-given potential to become scientists, inventors, engineers, etc. And this visa waiver campaign, he actually launched it on his 100th birthday so that all Liberians can bring development. Currently, the model of development we have in Liberia and in African nations is people coming with degrees from Harvard, Yale, Oxford, and saying, elect me and I'm going to bring development. My father does not believe in that. Every human being has gifts and talents from the Almighty. And it's a democratic development where you empower all citizens to become inventors, scientists, engineers. And we believe visa waiver for all Liberians to have access to education, business opportunity, and employment in the United States is the only way this country is going to be developed.
But give us a little background of this visa waiver advocacy. I know that I've had a couple of interviews with you, but it's been years now since we spoke. What is it? What engineered this energy within you or whomever that may be the brainchild behind this visa waiver thing to say that America owes us this, owes Liberians this, that Liberians should have access to the United States without visa?
You know, the best thing that happened to me was that when I was born in Tapeta, I lived in a village called Zia, and I was able to set traps. I set depth traps and traps in the water. And a key feature of all traps is something to attract the animal, food. And it is a deception. You tell the animal, I'm here to feed you, but in fact, what you're trying to do is to feed yourself. That is exactly what the United States government has done for the past 200 years. This journey began at the United States Embassy in Mambam Point, where I was working. From that village where my father built the first school, God was able to help me to get education and even a scholarship from the Dutch government to study telecommunications. And during the war, everything shut down in Liberia. All the stores, all the electricity, water supply, telecommunication, banks, everything shut down. The president was killed. The only thing that remained open and functional in Liberia was the United States Embassy. And then the computer system crashed. They needed someone to help them with the computers. At that time, I was in the United States, and I had a contract with a company that the United States government has contracted to provide the computer hardware and software and technical support services. So that company, through that company, I was able to come to assist the government of the United States. If I did not have the education, I was not going to be needed. But here is a kid from a village that used to set death traps now needed by the government of the United States of America. And I came on a United States Navy helicopter, landed in the compound. I was living in an apartment in the compound, working in there. And what I saw started this movement. What I saw was the only functional place in Liberia at the time, the embassy of the United States, was discriminating against Liberians, denying them visas to leave. Even if you left, there was no robbers for you. You have to walk to get to another country. But there were people who had lived in America, who had connections, children in America, who wanted to go to the United States to escape the war, to at least have food to eat, because there was no water, and they were all denied visa. It didn't really bother me too much until one day, one woman came to the place for visa, and she was denied visa. Unlike all Liberians, I shouted. She asked, "Why are you denying me visa?" And they told her, "Because you wouldn't come back." And she said, "Oh no, I can prove I'll come back." And she started to give them documents. I went to this graduate school. I went to this university. Documents. I have a bank account in the United States. Document. I have business in this country. Document. I lived there and I came here voluntarily. She put so many documents and it says, "Stop giving us documents. You are not coming back. Next person, please." And at that point, she decided not to raise her voice, but to say, "I have more evidence. I'm coming back. This is my country." And they said, "Security, please." Security came to drag the woman from the window. There was an assault on a woman that was holding a child in her hands. And they dragged her out of there. But the child screamed really loud. And at that point, I turned around and I saw this malnourished child in the arms of the woman being dragged from the window by a security officer. That was the beginning. I asked the gentleman who was the vice consul, what is going on? And what he told me was, Liberians think they are Americans, and since this war, all of them want to go, but we're not going to let them. I said, the issuance of visa is governed by law, and this woman is giving evidence. They're telling her to stop giving evidence. He said, "You don't know these people." So I was really disturbed by that, but then I asked, "Can I get a visa?" He said, "Oh, no problem. When you come to work tomorrow, just bring your passport. We'll give you a visa." The next day, I came in with a Liberian passport, filling my form and handing it over to the guy.
And your visa was issued?
No, he said, "What? You Liberian? You came from America?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You don't have green card?" I said, "No, I don't even live in America. I just came from there, but I don't live there." And then he said, "Wow, how did you get in here?" I said, "By the helicopter." He said, "Only Americans are authorized to fly that. How did you get in that helicopter? How did you get in here?" Well, God Almighty brought me into the place to uncover a great secret, 200-year secret, that Liberia was founded by the government of the United States and not the American Colonization Society, using two laws passed by the United States Congress and signed by two presidents who were both slave masters that owned hundreds of human beings all the days of their life, and even took their slaves with them to the White House.
Who are the presidents? Let's deal with it step by step. Who are the two presidents that owned slaves?
So let's talk about the two laws.
Yeah,
the first law is so America was founded on the principle and the blueprint. We hold these truth to be self-evident. All men are created equal and are endowed by their creator with certain inalienable rights. So the grace, the talents that you have came from the Almighty. You have a right to life that came from the Almighty. That's the principle on which the United States was founded.
All men are created equal does not mean Liberians and Americans are the same.
I'm going to get
when
to
it comes to the citizenship rights or entitlement of what America is endowed with in terms of resources.
I am coming,
is that it?
I'm coming to that. So,
okay.
So all men are created equal and endowed by their creator with certain rights. And in addition to the rights to life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, God Almighty has given gifts and talents to every single human being that comes here. That's how the United States was founded. But then a few years later, on March 26, 1790, the Congress of the United States was dominated by slave masters, including James Monroe. He was in the Congress. And what they were trying to do was to use their public offices to protect their private property. Their properties were slaves. They owned slaves. And so they passed a new law that was totally contrary to the first blueprint of the United States, which is all men are created equal. This new law said only white persons will be allowed to be citizens of the United States.
The first law.
The first Nationality Act.
Right.
March 26, 1790. departed from the blueprint of the foundation. All men are created equal. Now, only white people are entitled to become United States citizens, and black people were designed by God to be black and to be slaves forever. Now, that law is no longer on the books today because we have Indian, Chinese citizens, but the harm that it inflicted on the United States is why President Trump was shot, is why this country is divided, is why we have racial cruelty in the United States for so many years. And the only way the United States is going to be healed is America needs to be united.
Are you imagining how America should be, or you are specifically stating what's written on the books? Because what you just cited, the 1917 or 17 something law that you mentioned about
1790
March 26 law you talk about.
Yes.
If you say it's not on the books anymore because only white American are citizens of America, I mean, sir, are you saying it is not on the books because America is now filled with different nationalities, or that law has been amended?
The law was amended.
Okay.
The law was amended. However, what I'm saying is that the country was hijacked by slave masters and white supremacists. And it's still the situation today because the harm inflicted by these people against America continues to ravage the lives of American citizens in the United States, Native Americans in the United States, and people in Liberia. Because Liberia, mind you, was created because of this law. This was the first law created by a slave master, signed by George Washington, who himself was a slave master. Fast forward to March 3, 1819. The second law was created by the Congress, and this time James Monroe was no longer in Congress. He became governor of Virginia, and then eventually became president of the United States. And this law of March 3, 1819 was the law that was passed to implement the first law. The first law is only white person will be citizen of the United States. And so in order to do that, all of the black people who were citizens based on the American Declaration of Independence are going to be removed from the United States and carried far away to another place. And that place was the first colony created by the United States, Liberia. And so Liberia was created not by the American Colonization Society, but by the government of the United States, using these two laws that I talk about, and the force of the United States Navy, and appropriation of American taxes to disenfranchise American citizens. And so the first treaty signed was in December 15, 1821, and it said this territory, this new colony territory, will be a place for citizens of the United States forever. That was the terms of the treaty. Forever, this place purchased by American law, American taxes, and enforced by the United States Navy officer, Robert Stockton, will be for citizens of the United States forever. So Liberia, we were told, was created by the American Colonization Society.
According to our history.
According to the lies and deception.
Okay.
These individuals were not free slaves.
10 African American presidents.
Absolutely. This book was written by Jean Weah. Jean Weah is a woman from Tapeta, and she's an anthropologist, along with Martin Sternstein, who's a Fulbright professor at LU. They both wrote this book, 10 African American presidents.
That served in the United States or Liberia?
Served in Liberia. See,
okay.
Because Liberia was created as an American jurisdiction using two laws, using the American taxes and the force of the United States Navy. And Joseph Jenkins Roberts was not a free slave, but what we've been told was Liberia was created by the American Colonization Society for free slaves from America. And that makes people like James Monroe to appear like good guys who were trying to free slaves. James Monroe never freed any slave. George Washington freed slaves only after he was dead. And so bourgeois Washington...
How did he do that? After he had
in
died?
His will.
Okay.
That was his property. Okay. These people, hundreds of people, were his property. When you have children, when the slave had children, they could sell them like they're selling goats and sheep, etc.
Right.
It's actually a crime against humanity that today Liberians, in ignorance, are honoring the memory of a slave master, James Monroe, who never freed anyone for his entire lifetime as the
And we
president.
named the capital city after him.
An African nation is being named after a brutal slave master who never free anyone.
Are we still slaves, or we are free now, Liberians?
Well, slavery is in your mind. The problem is the deception has ravaged the lives of Liberians. America is the greatest country in the world, the richest country, the most powerful country in the world, the only superpower. And what sort of a human being would like to be the richest person living in Ducal and your best friend is living in West Point? Something got to be wrong with you, and that something is white supremacy. Myself as a Liberian citizen, and also as an American citizen, we are working to heal America and to unite the United States, because united we stand, divided we fall.
Pastor Krua, talk to somebody out there, and given the backgrounds you've provided, by that you are of the conviction that Liberia deserves exceptional treatment than any other nationals around the world, with as in America. Is that what you say?
Positive, but I'm saying even more than that. Liberia was established as a jurisdiction of the United States government, using the force of the United States Navy. There was no ACS on the first treaty. You don't see it. There was no ACS personnel. There was no ACS money. There was no ACS anything. In fact, the ACS were not even incorporated in charter until 1837, almost 15 years after Liberia was founded. It was always the government of the United States, because before the establishment of Liberia, there was a research done to see whether a nonprofit could establish a colony. And they found out it was not. It's written in the report that a nonprofit cannot, they don't have an army, they don't have money, they cannot establish a colony.
Right. But I mean, have you, given what you're talking about, there are too many legalities into everything you're mentioning, sir. Have you had a conversation or written the National Legislature of Liberia to see that since these people are lawmakers, they can sit down and go back into history all the way 1700s, read all of America's treaties and laws and everything that have been written, and see where Liberia is mentioned favorably or unfavorably in a way that we can find and iron out this whole thing and have a conversation? Because America has an embassy near Monrovia. America is doing business with Liberia. America invests a lot of resources here. And yet you're saying that, no, these are just piecemeal that America is providing. Liberia deserves more. Have you had a conversation with the National Legislature of Liberia?
I have had conversation, but I have to say that the legislature has not been, previous legislature have not been interested. The information I gather was from a lawmaker from the United States, Honorable Benjamin Swan. He visited Liberia. He met with Speaker Tyler at the time, and met with Pro Tem Clitus Watterson and Linda Thomas Greenfield at the embassy. I was in the meeting with him at the U.S. Embassy talking about the same issue. The legislature of Liberia have not taken keen interest in this. This is not the first time I've spoken about this, but the legislature have not taken keen interest in this at all. But I don't blame the legislature, because they are public servants paid a salary. I'm not paid a salary to do this work I'm doing. The people of Liberia need to stand up and say, we want it. That is why tomorrow at 12 noon, we are inviting everyone to come to the Capitol building to express their desire that now is the time to end this visa refusal. Millions of dollars collected from poor people in Liberia, where we have two-tier citizenship. I'm a diaspora Liberian. I live in Boston, 2 blocks from Harvard University, and I have come here with 2 passports. I have a Liberian passport.
Okay.
I have an American passport.
How did you do that?
Well,
you're not an American citizen, are you?
I got an American passport. I'm an American citizen.
Okay.
And what I'm doing is in the interest of the government and people of the United States for us to have this visa waiver.
But wait, there's a confusion here in my mind right now. If you say that by birth, by virtue of the fact that you were a Liberian, a born Liberian, you become an American citizen, why then did you naturalize?
Because there is a problem. What I'm saying, this effort of the visa waiver is an effort to correct the wrong of hijacking the United States government by slave masters and white supremacists who passed a law contrary to the blueprint of the United States. Instead of all men are created equal, passed a law to say only white people will be citizens of America, and then created a territory an American jurisdiction in Africa to remove persons of color from the United States and settle them here. And they, in fact, became another colonial power here, because after Liberia was established, indigenous Africans were not given equal rights in Liberia. They were not allowed to vote or to occupy the government. The first presidents of Liberia were people who came from the United States. That's a colonial extension of colonization. So American colonization is like eternal colonization, because in India, when the British colonized India, the Indians kicked them out and they had to go home. But in the United States, America is today colonizing Americans, Native Americans, Black people have been colonized because equal rights have not been extended to all of them because of this First Nationality Act.
With the education you're providing out there in the public, I mean, you might leave many Liberians in confusion than enlightenment, because I see you have an American passport, which means you had to declare intention that you want to be an American citizen. But at the same time, you are arguing that by virtue of the fact that you are a born Liberian, you are a citizen, you know, given that the relationship and all of the historical backgrounds you've provided. Why didn't you, a Liberian, go to the U.S. embassy or to the immigration there in America or whatever and say, listen, I am a Liberian or I am an African. I have come to declare intention to become citizen of America. Why not use these very, very passages of laws that you are quoting that, listen, by virtue of the fact that I'm a Liberian, history have it that I am a citizen of America. So my rights should be duly accorded to me, that you can travel from here there with a Liberian passport all of the time without even seeking citizenship. Many people may be confused. How do you clarify these things?
The prevailing situation is that we have a law passed by the Liberian legislature for dual citizenship. That law recognizes,
which means by stating that dual citizenship, which means Liberians are Liberians, Americans are Americans. If a Liberian wants to be an American, he must go and declare his intention. So meaning you become citizen of two nations.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that we're trying to correct a problem that has been inserted illegally in the American system. The Attorney General of the United States, Honorable William Reed, 1819, wrote an opinion number 229, and that opinion was totally contrary to colonization. You cannot colonize citizens in a foreign place. You cannot colonize citizens and deprive them, you know, in a foreign place. That's why he wrote number 229. Now, so what I'm trying to do is to correct the wrongs that have been happening for years. But I'm saying that I have two passports today because the Liberian legislature passed a law here for dual citizenship, recognizing that by becoming American, I did not lose my Liberian citizenship. And that law is benefiting me because I live in America today. My children live in America. We are enjoying the privileges in America as well as Liberia. But right now, the Boyka administration has passed a law for war crime court. They started this war crime court business here. So they're fighting for justice for the Liberians who died during the war. By the legislature and the administration working together to establish war crime court. And they also passed the dual citizenship law protecting the rights of Liberians who fled the war. What about the ones who stay here, the ones who vote, who have done nothing to leave from this country? Why can't they also be given the same rights that I have? Especially when we have a constitution and treaties that say all persons born in Liberia are entitled to all privileges enjoyed by citizens of the United States, approved in Washington, D.C. 200 years ago. Why should you not have a chance for your children to have access to quality education, equal opportunities in the United States, when the treaty was signed to say this jurisdiction will be American jurisdiction for American citizens forever, and that anyone born in that territory will have all rights as American citizens? Today, right now, as I speak to you, people from 41 countries with a total population of over 1 billion go to the United States, are eligible to enter the United States without visa. Yet at the same time, over 70% of visa applicants in Monrovia, Liberia, are denied visa, and the embassy takes their money and never refunds their money.
And that is where I was going, because what you're saying right now, a lot of people who are currently experiencing heart attacks, some of them have come down with stroke, some of them pressure have killed them because they've been denied visas. They may just be sitting and thinking, how can I tap into what this man is saying on the radio to ensure that I get my money back from the U.S. Embassy, or to ensure that I go back to the U.S. Embassy and go to the United States because I have duly paid my money.
Yes. So those people are right. And I am a living testimony that they will get their money refunded with interest. All the money.
How soon would that be?
Well, it's in the hands of the court right now. There's
which court?
Federal court in Boston, the federal district court in Boston. You just go on Google and type Krua versus Anthony Blinken or Krua versus USA. You're going to see it. But the thing is that if you're not going to give visa to the people, don't take their money. And if you think you're going to deny the people visa, don't put them through a fake interview. We contend, and I'm saying it here, that the visa refusal process at the U.S. Embassy is completely flawed and unlawful, because the people they are denying visa, they are not denying visa because they failed any interview. This system, this scheme of taking money from people for visa is completely wrong, and it has to stop. Let me give you examples. Even before I give the example of myself, there's a young man here right now in Liberia whose father died in America. He's never been there. His father died in America and left hundreds of or thousands of dollars for him. He's been trying to go there since 2020. They've been denying him. Every time they deny him, they take his money. He can't have access to that. I know another brother whose brother lives in the United States, is a citizen of the United States, and he's sick. He wants to go for treatment. His brother over there got a house for him to live, got insurance and everything. They keep denying him visa, and one of these people died without even having a chance to go for medical treatment. I know another gentleman who got 2 scholarships from 2 universities. He doesn't have to pay anything but just to get visa to go. They deny him. I know a young woman who came all the way from Philippines, Liberian, to go to the United States. She got a scholarship. She's been denied visa. I know a woman who have been to the United States 4 times and visited her daughter in the United States. The daughter was in the United States military. The daughter died. She wants to go for a funeral. They've been denying her left and right. This is completely insane. I cannot have a country that I'm a part of as a citizen mending out such evil to people who are human beings, and not just human beings, people who are originally contributed to America before the American Declaration of Independence, and who were unlawfully removed and colonized because of racism and white supremacists. It's completely wrong, and it has to stop.
And that's right, folks. You're listening to 50/50 on Sky 107.1. We are here every weekday morning, Monday to Friday, 10:30 to 11:30. And today we are asking a question, a very critical question, that a longtime advocate for the visa waiver for Liberians, for all Liberians, is here in the studio with us this morning. And we're asking this question: is visa waiver to the United States possible for all Liberians? Our guest this morning is Pastor Torli, founder of the Universal Human Rights International, UHRI. We're going to go for a break. When we come back, we'll open the lines to hear from you. Maybe ask your questions based on your confusion or your understanding. You can make your comments if you're following us here, there, or yonder. You can also join us on the program. I'm Matthias. We're going to go for a break and be right back.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem, or is it the air conditioner? Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems on your car. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab for original spark plugs from Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly. Come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 0777 553317, 0886 553317, or our rehab branch on 0770 902865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Hey, Tanu, what happened to you so?
Julie, I worry. I need to pay my daughter's school fee first thing tomorrow morning. And today is Sunday, I finish and get worsened.
But there's no problem there at all. It's possible you can still pay it tomorrow.
Lord, I tell you, I'm not joking. If you can't help me, tell me alone.
Yeah, I can help you. Let me ask you, have you heard about EcoBank money emergency number?
You say what? Just leave me alone. I'm telling you, I need to pay my money tomorrow morning first thing. And then be open way 9 o'clock. They can't help me.
But you're not even going to the bank, Tanu. All you have to do is to dial *326# and request for 50% of your salary. You will pay EcoBank back within 13 days, and the interest are only 3%. The money will be sent to your account in a minute, and you can use your ATM card to withdraw it from any EcoBank ATM.
Dalame, you mean I'll get it the same day?
Oh yes, instantly. I mean in a minute. But to you, EcoBank that baby.
I say so.
Oh, I beg you, yeah. EcoBank can make things happen sharp. For any money emergency, just dial *326# to help yourself out.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
And that's right. Welcome back to the program 50/50 on Sky 107.1. Today is the 18th day of July 2024. A very hot topic, mind-boggling, very, very mind-boggling discussion here this morning with Pastor Torli Krua. Pastor Torli Krua is the founder of the Universal Human Rights International, UHRI. Pastor Torli Krua is of the belief that Liberians are Americans. They should not be treated as lesser humans. America is just being disrespectful to us by denying hundreds of thousands of Liberians visas, and therefore is calling for visa waiver. In fact, all of you whose money have been taken for visas and you are yet to get it, you are to assemble. All of you should assemble tomorrow at the Capitol building. Maybe at 10 o'clock, 12 is going to state that, 12 o'clock, 12 noon, and they are going to assemble, petition the legislature to ensure that the United States Embassy near Monrovia can refund that money. That act is criminal, it's inhumane, and it's against human rights. Pastor Krua, what will be the significance of the gathering tomorrow? And have you done more publicity concerning about it? Because many people out there now are listening to you. They are like grieving in their hearts that this thing that they may be talking about is the same thing that led to my mother dying. There's the same thing that led to my uncle getting stroke. Is the same thing that made people sleep in the ring. So a friend just called me from the US. She said that you are brave from your guts, and she just hopes that you do not get in trouble in America.
Oh no, I am not going to get in trouble tomorrow at 12 noon. So I actually calling on people to be there by 11 o'clock, because at 12 noon we're going to start. The significance of public hearing and a public awareness at the Capitol building is that I, for 34 years, have not been able to work in my field at all. I've been on advocacy for 34 years. And in Liberia, this is going to happen. Look, I was denied visa when I intervened on behalf of that woman 34 years ago. What they did for me also was to say, you too cannot go to America, because we have an order from the State Department that says no visa for any Liberian. We can give visa to Lebanese, to Indian, but not Liberians at all. And I told them that's a violation of the law. They said, well, you know too much, so you will not go there at all. So they blocked me from going. But there's Almighty God in heaven that controls the heaven and earth. United States government did not create anything here. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. God Almighty opened the door for me to go to the United States on mission. And since I went, I've been doing God's work. This work I'm doing is in the interest of the United States government, so that this great country is not going to collapse. United we stand, divided we fall. This country remains divided, deeply divided. We need healing. And the reason for tomorrow's assembly is for the ordinary Liberians who come and listen. Those who have been denied visa, come. Those who want visa, come. Because God Almighty has given your children the talent to become scientists, inventors, engineers. And if they just live in Liberia without access to quality education in the United States, they will perish. And so the lawmakers have been writing them. Like I said, this lawmaker from the state came with me. We met Speaker Tyler. We met Pro Tem, and we've been sending letters, but they have not been responding to the letters. So I personally came 2 days ago and hand delivered a letter to the speaker and to the Pro Tem's office that please suspend your 26 break and let's attend to the business of the people. These people elected you. You have been paid to do a job for the people. And tomorrow at 12 noon, we're going to give them the awareness and updates on the humanitarian problem that all Liberians are facing. Because as they deny Liberian people visa and collecting millions of dollars from them, 1 billion people from 41 countries, not a single African nation. And I have a little message here from Boston for the lawmakers that I would like to play.
Okay,
later on.
But before that, let's open the lines and hear from you, members of the public. You're listening to Pastor Torli Krua. He is the founder and lead advocate for the visa waiver for all Liberians to the United States by the government of the United States of Liberia. He said this is an unconditional thing that the United States government should grant all Liberians. He said Liberians are American. They should not be treated as lesser humans. Let's hear from the first person. The numbers are, by the way, 077777107, 07777221223 are the numbers you can call us on to participate on the program this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I'm Lawrence. Let's get my house. We give a Ben Street, Snapper Hill.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I listened to the religious man studio. I think I've been monitoring his advocacy in 2 years ago, and it's in place. Like here in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is having a flag, just a Liberian flag and an American flag. But they got no visa to America. They just go to America. I think we are a very long ally to America. I think they have to play our due diligence and not be in the right direction. America should listen now. Partnership is in progress. We have resources, and they are connecting our resources. So they must be in partnership also that we can be one-on-one bilateral friendship. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your contribution on the program this morning. Let's hear from another person. Good morning.
Good morning, Labeni and Pastor Todd. My name is Thomas Kumen. I'm calling from Upper Kawe.
Go ahead, Thomas.
You see, I've been following Pastor Todd his advocacy. I think one time I even heard that because Liberians went to some treaty with America, allowing America to use our land for the war they fought Germany or something. So based on that treaty, Liberians should access America freely. Yes, but I stand to be corrected on that. Now, yes, the talking point that the pastor is raising this morning, that's very vital to our society. Liberian, you can testify that before you be permitted to any institution or whatever way, you will take a test.
Right.
But with the visa issue, you will just go to the embassy. Somebody will get one blue money. If they slap on the left side, they feel fine. They get denied. All the people that are coming. It doesn't show any sign. That part of the visa is determined by that person's own way of doing things. Is that helping us? So I'm joining the pastor. I will be at the program tomorrow, just enlightening us more. But one question I want to ask the pastor:
right.
Are you inviting people from the embassy to the program tomorrow? Thank you.
You know, I have not invited them, but we have always invited them. Thank you for reminding me. I'm going to take an invitation to them. And let me just tell you, a lot of people think, oh, this is against America. Like I said,
just take your notes, sir. You know, so that
Okay.
Yeah. Let's move on to this person. Good morning. He's asking whether you'll be inviting people from the embassy.
To our family.
Yeah. Let's hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. We say from
Thank you so much for the opportunity to make to my studio.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank God. I have one question for you that you're fighting for Liberian. You say our constitution or the country different and United States constitution different. And we go to the country, we do all that was the truth that our brother very honored.
No, he doesn't want you to say the people country. That your country there too. America, that your country too.
Yeah, America, my country, but the procedure to go there is different from my country. I can go America to them to deport me from that, but nobody can deport me from that. You think every last would have you go to the capital of Benin tomorrow to meet our house of Senate, house of Representatives. But it's fighting for all that, those resources they protect for ourselves, our mother, to return back. But a compulsory that they can get the money back, or if we get opportunity to go in our country tomorrow, and we'll go to SRC. It is not a competition we have to send our back to our country because in the dream our country. But we not get so advantage to our country, we get advantage to Liberia.
Okay.
But you put the Canada tomorrow go to the capital. You say you read the State Department will go in there tomorrow.
Like the capital building now, not U.S. Embassy. You say capital building at your house there too. Let's hear from this other person, but he's going to respond to your concerns. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let's hear you.
Let me say good morning to His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Walker. This is Samuel D. Kekla, joining from the Tima district.
Go ahead.
So let me say good morning to Reverend Torli. He advocates all the years. I mean, in the interest of Liberian, I think necessary. But I have one question for him. The two countries you are advocating between, they have laws and order that guarding them. For example, Liberia does not allow foreigners to easily, naturalize themselves and take public space or public position in our constitution. So America, you are banning them to have visa waiver, which is a good in the Liberian. If on the other hand, they decide to demand to you or the Liberian government that you want to come to Liberia and become citizens, are you going to accept it?
Okay. Thanks for your contribution on the program this morning. Let's hear from another person. Good morning.
Good morning, brother Matthias.
Good morning, sir.
Let me say good morning to Mr. Krua.
Good morning.
Let's hear you.
Thank you. My name is Momo Fode, and I call you from Do Community Samandima Village. Thank you, Mr. Krua, for coming out to the Liberian people to grateful things. I think some of us who've been in school, our instructors have been lying to us that Abraham have been cornered by the American society because we're in error. So today we get to know the fact that about the American government. We are hoping that your dream and aspiration should come true for the Liberian people to have a visa waiver to the America, or for Liberians to have a free access to America. I think if it is happening, then the American will have a guideline to put that Liberians should have certain restrictions to be going to the United States of America. But I think your dream should come true, and work tomorrow by the grace of God. That will be very huge, and they tell the legislator that Liberian people are ready to have a free visa waiver for the Americans.
So are you going to be at the Capitol building tomorrow to support him?
Definitely, I will be present, Matthias. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for your contribution. Let's hear from this call from overseas. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Matthias, and good morning to our studio guests.
Good morning.
My name is Charles. My name is Charles Benson-Odo, and I call you from Michigan. I want to ask you guys, he just cited a provision that ties Liberia and that of America. I really want to know that law, that treaty that he talked about. I want to do a research on it too, because his argument is very, very important. It makes sense. For every many Liberians, we want to support his argument. We want to support his advocacies, because I have to experience some difficulty to come to America with my family. There's a lot of trouble, a lot of stress. I am an American, Liberian American, so I'm interested into reading about that law or that treaty that bounds United States with that of Liberia. It's very important. And when I get that information, do my own research too, I can join the fight.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks for your contribution, my brother. Let's move on to another person. You can also drop your comments on Sky Communications Liberia Facebook page or Liberia Public Radio or our YouTube channel, Sky FM and TV Liberia Channel 6. Let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, from the historic city development, our question today all were Americans. I don't know if you have interest in what of the people so they are part of us. When you go money to the bank, you go to the embassy, what begin with because some money, you just look at your face, and you too black, not going to America. Our money that we pay, we not getting it back. So I mean, we can look at it. It's very, very serious. My brother was amputated. His brother said for him to go to America so that he can have some sober reflection so that he can have memory to be erased. The man pay money in his bank to the embassy. Now you see the man food that wants to deny. So I mean, this need to stop. It's serious. I will be at the Cabinet building tomorrow to attend the program. I'll be there.
Okay. Let's hear you. Call us on those numbers 0777. Good morning.
Good morning.
Let's hear you.
I'm Romeo Roosevelt George, founder and president of the Liberian Creative Students Advisor. I'm calling for Front Street.
Go ahead.
I'm so happy about the discussion this morning, and I'm proud that many Liberians are getting to know how we been enslaved, and many Liberians are getting to know that Liberia is the country in which you have a free visa to America, and I'm very proud of the discussion. The only problem I have is that if you announce the discussion at least ahead of time, because I have a lot of people who advocated for this thing, my organization. At least you give me announce it 2 weeks ahead of time, then I can put my guys together, then we can reach to Capitol Hill. These have been advocating for so long. Liberia have been marginalized for so long. Liberia have been waiting for so long. We have been suffering for so long. Even my auntie go for a visa recently, denial of visa. She was going for a vacation. Let's just say graduation program. She pay her money, they deny, and they deny many. These are the issues that we face in our country. And the problem I have our lawmakers. Issue they have to stress on it, cannot stress on it.
Okay.
Issue like that, we should stress about it. But the key short, see what they all saying in the video that like lawmakers they are not serious about the situation.
All right. Thanks for your contribution, my brother. More calls. A lot of people I told you that this is a very interesting topic. Friends are sending me messages from the USA. Matthias, that man has to be careful back here. But let's hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Labendi.
Good morning, sir.
Let me say good morning to your studio guests and as well to the many listeners and viewers following the broadcast this morning.
Let's hear you.
My name is Aloysius P. Flomo Jr. and I phone in this morning from Lower Magidi County, State District 2.
Go ahead.
Like you said, I think in your intro, Matthias, why would be the reason that Liberia that is considered as the greatest and most traditional ally to America, comparative advantages with Bureau and other countries that are not even close or have close stuff. They are benefiting their people.
I'm telling you.
What is happening?
That's stepchild.
People, leaders, our people in leadership, like our lawmakers, they say that they are not taking action that's supposed to be people like Liberia and America be kind of bilateral ties. So I think it is a very welcoming initiative of care. I mean, it is something that all Liberians need to come together and support us on endeavor. We cannot in America, then we are not benefiting.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And let me just let you know something about Pastor Torli Krua. Whether you people show up or not, if it is just he alone, he will be there with his water bottle. He's did it before. Following in the US, he will be there with his Liberian flag. He'll be standing right there at the Capitol building until 1 or 2, 3 lawmakers will come and speak with him, deliver his message, and he leaves. Let's hear from this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Matthias, my name is Inga Padmo, and I join you from Cinco.
Mr. Padmo, go ahead.
Matthias, let me firstly commend your studio guest and say to him that we are behind him in this cause. And what he said, it is true. It is a fundamental human right that he just put up. And one thing I look at, Matthias, our lawmakers, they won't be in the interest of this call, because one thing I know that because they do have diplomatic passport. They can leave from here and go to America at any time they want to go to America. And they don't seek the interest of the ordinary people. You heard him. He said it. He said they are previously engaged the lawmakers before in the first time, and they see no interest in it. I think he mean well for us. For me, I know that he doesn't. He's not doing it for himself because he has the latitude of time to go to America at any time. But he's doing it for the ordinary Liberian. So that I will be there tomorrow to join the march so that we can petition our lawmakers to look into it. Thank you.
Right. Let's talk to the last person on the line now. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Lambindu.
Fine, thank you. Let's hear you, sir.
Yeah, I'm Isaac Krua calling from Habel, Lower Magibi.
Let's hear you from Lower Magibi County, Habel.
You know, I think it's a rightful decision now that we are about to take, Mr. Lambindi. So sometimes say the violence sometimes taken by force.
But we're not getting violence, though.
You know, I mean, violence taken by force. We are going through the diplomatic process.
Okay.
That's the reason why we'll assemble tomorrow at the City Hall.
The Capitol building. Capitol building.
Yeah, the Capitol building, sorry.
Right.
To draw their attention to know that we Liberians are serious about this.
Okay.
They cannot tell us that we are the state. And when it comes to anything in our country, they want to run major decisions. Then even coming to our lawmakers, our stakeholders, they will come to say they will put sanction on them, knowing fully well that Liberia is under their denomination. Then now, they are not want to give us our right. Matter you say we are outside children. No matter what matter, even you have your own children in the home and you get your outside child. I believe that all rights, when it comes to what benefit your children are supposed to acquire, likewise to the outside child supposed to get that same benefit. So tomorrow, Matthias, I will be putting my full attires to push the agenda. Can you imagine Matthias go to the dinner 200%?
Yo.
You know, you heard the story?
I mean, why can you go bundle yourself over there?
In the army.
Liberia Sweet. Liberia Sweet. My brother, let me tell you something.
Paying that money, Matthias.
Okay.
How big America is to Liberia? They're saying that Liberia is the greatest ally. Thank you very much for the program. I highly appreciate you, man.
Thanks for your contribution. But here is a message from this lady from India. Before I hear from Pastor Krua. All right. I think she has a message here, but let's see. Pastor Krua, what is she saying? Because I didn't preview it, but let me play it here and see.
She's an educator. She has a school in India.
Okay.
And she's congratulating my dad.
Wish you many happy returns of the day.
Okay.
You know, you are the father, the dad of this world, celebrating 101st birthday. It's amazing. A century that you live, the gift that you give to this planet. It's wonderful. It's amazing. God bless you with all your health and wealth and prosperity. And the same blessings I would like Sarita Kevansia from India, wishing you the birthday wishes from all across India, my country. Happy birthday to you, sir, once again.
Yeah, I mean, he deserves it. In fact, the world should gather and celebrate this man for living for 100 years. By the way, if you don't know, Pastor Torli Krua here in the studio, his father just turned 100 years. He just celebrated the 100th birth anniversary. So this man has more years ahead of him. How old are you now, Pastor Krua?
Oh, I'm very, very old.
It doesn't matter. Your father is very, very old.
Yes, my father is old. And you know that he got message from India, from members of Congress and other people. This man did not have formal education at all, but he has contributed so much. And this is the problem in Liberia and in Africa. People look up to politicians to develop the country. But a democratic country is developed by the citizens.
Absolutely.
A government of the people, by the people, and for the people.
We're gonna go for a break, and we'll come back, give you the chance to close up on, and respond to the concerns there. And then I'll read the editorial from the Liberian investigator. We'll call it a day. This is 50-50 on Sky 107.1.
After being in the business for more than 20 years, Uptown Garage has all it takes to make your car work best for you. Uptown Garage has all sizes of quality tires. We also have the efficient and long-lasting Uptown batteries. Uptown Garage also have a state-of-the-art 2023 upgraded diagnoser that can easily detect and fix any problem with your car. Is your car having any electrical problem? Conditioner. Well, Uptown Garage has a professional electrician who is up to the task of programming and solving all electrical problems. Uptown Garage is at the intersection of Broad and Nelson Streets with the Uptown Spare Parts Store on Broad Street. We also have our garage and showroom at Rehab. From Japan, oil filters, engine oil, and everything you need to get your car working perfectly, come to Uptown Garage. We'll give you 1 month warranty. Uptown Garage also have a tow truck that can tow your car anywhere for a fee. Contact Uptown Garage headquarters on 077-553317, 0886-553317, or our rehab branch on 2865. Uptown Garage, your 100% Liberian-owned business, is here to put a smile on your face.
Hey, Tamu, what happened to you? So,
I worry. I need to pay my daughter's school fee first thing tomorrow morning. And today is Sunday. I finish and get worse.
But there's no problem there at all. It's possible you can still pay it tomorrow.
Lord, I tell you, I'm not level. I'm not joking. If you can't help me, tell me alone.
Yeah, I can help you. Let me ask you, have you heard about EcoBank Money Emergency Number?
You say what? Just leave me alone. I'm telling you, I need to pay my money tomorrow morning first thing. And then pay open way 9 o'clock. It can't help me.
But you're not even going to the bank, Tanu. All you have to do is to dial *326# and request for 50% of your salary. You will pay EcoBank back within 30 days, and the interest are only 3%. The money will be sent to your account in a minute, and you can use your ATM card to withdraw it from any EcoBank ATM.
Dalame, you mean I will get it the same day?
Oh yes, instantly. I mean in a minute. But to you, EcoBank that baby.
I say so.
Oh, I beg you, yeah. EcoBank can make things happen sharp. For any money emergency, just dial *326# to help yourself out.
EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank.
And that's right. Welcome back to the program 50/50. Coming up next is the news, but let's hear briefly from Pastor Krua.
Over 1 billion people from 41 countries have free visa to go to the United States, but not a single African country. Liberia and all Liberians are entitled. So why is it that Liberians have not been given this privilege that over 1 billion people, our top politicians, both opposition and ruling party politicians, and diaspora people have 2 passports? Why? The answer is found in the Bible, James 4:2. You have not because you ask not. And how? How can we get this? Ask and it shall be given unto you. Matthew 7:7. Ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be opened. Tomorrow you can be there by 11 o'clock and we together will be stating in a very clear and precise manner that we desire this opportunity for all Liberians.
Okay. Right.
Quickly over the questions. Invitation for the embassy. I forgot to send them the invitation. I'm going to send them the invitation right away and possibly hand deliver it. They have been very kind every time we have such an event. The last one we had a political officer to attend. When they come to the place, we should be friendly and nice to them. These are our brothers. And so somebody will come from the embassy, hopefully. That's their job, and they will be there. I'm also calling on the lawmakers to suspend their break until we do this and come there together. Because when they come there, the place is going to be covered. And each one of them, some of them even got 2 passports.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Some of them got 2 passports. And the people who elected them, the people they're serving, the servant cannot be greater than the master. So they have to come tomorrow and stand up for their constituents. And I think I'm going to point you to the Facebook page, the Free Liberia Movement on Facebook, and the website is freeliberia.org. freeliberia.org. Please from now until tomorrow, the time is short, but please go around your community, carry on the awareness, and let's have enough people to show up. If you have enough people to show up tomorrow, the news is going to be on BBC, it's going to be on, Biden is going to hear it. But only 3 people show up, they will say, Liberians love for people to eat their money, so we'll continue eating their money.
All right, thank you so much, Pastor Torli Krua. Pastor Torli Krua is the founder of UHRI. UHRI is the Universal Human Rights International, and he's been here for an hour talking about the need for Liberians to have access to visas and visa waiver for all Liberians to the United States.
I want to thank the management for giving me the opportunity, and T-Max for giving me the opportunity. T-Max and I were classmates in Santa Cruz Central High School way back.
All right, way back.
Way back.
Right, my name is Matthias Labindi, and sorry to my brother Leonard Dodo. I don't have much time now to read the editorial, but I just want to encourage you to read the Liberian Investigator. Liberian Investigator, trust me, when you read articles from there, you're not going to be disappointed. Keep following them online. Is the Liberian Investigator. I'm Matthias. Have yourself a wonderful day.